part. So I will be writing it. I have it all memorized. And if I repeat things, I apologize, but a lot of it does bear repeating. I'm overjoyed to see so many of you out here standing up against Monsanto, against the GMO corruption of our food supply. What does GMO actually mean? GMO stands for genetically modified organism. It means inserting DNA from one species into another, completely different species. Think corn bred with a biological toxin that causes the corn to excrete its own pesticide. This is like you swallowing off rather than spraying it on your body, as if spraying it wasn't bad enough. Think of fish and chickens and cows engineered to grow at unnatural rates and produce unnatural quantities of milk with recombinant bovine growth hormone. Think of plants engineered to withstand massive applications of toxic pesticides and herbicides, as in Roundup Ready seeds. And now, most of these GMOs are what's called double stacked, mixed with more type of foreign DNA. This practice of genetically modifying seeds for open market began in the 1990s with tomatoes. Now, GMOs are rampant in our food supply, contaminating everything from baby formula to fresh produce to virtually all of the food, so-called food that comes in a bag, a box, or a bottle. So what does this mean for us? It means allergies, cancer, eczema, autism, obesity, and diabetes are skyrocketing. It means we're seeing the emergence of superweeds and superbugs and more powerful chemicals to kill them off. It means bees and other insects are dying around the world at alarming rates. It means kidney and liver abnormalities in laboratory studies. It means the loss of fertility by up to 60% within 3 generations of rats fed a GMO diet. It means placental abnormalities in human babies, and ultimately the loss of fertility to parallel grievous environmental destruction. This is an enormous problem. Quite frankly, the problem of a lifetime, and it's on us to solve this problem, to bring down the biotech companies playing the game of poison the people's food for profit. While March Against Monsanto is certainly a catchy and a worthwhile name, Monsanto's not the only player in this deadly game. Let's not forget Syngenta, whose products are banned in Switzerland, its country of origin, Bayer, DuPont, Cargill, and all of their subsidiaries and partners in crime, Coca-Cola, Nestle, Kraft, Quaker, PepsiCo, the list goes on and on. What do Monsanto, Bayer, Cargill, Syngenta, and all the rest have in common? They're all chemical companies, now manipulating our seeds in bioforms with virtually no regulation. These very seeds of life upon which we depend. Once they sell the seeds, they turn around and sell the toxic chemicals that the seeds are engineered to withstand. While GMO seeds and products have been fully or partially banned in no less than 29 countries, the US and Canada have no such restrictions. Why? It's safe to say these days that unless a food or food product specifically says GMO-free or organic on the label, then it most likely contains some GMO elements. Whether it's an animal that ate a GMO diet, high fructose corn syrup made with GMO corn, or vegetable and canola oil, a staple in restaurants, processed foods, and probably even your kitchen. And with cross-pollination and genetic drift, even organic may not always be GMO-free, as long as these seeds are being grown in open fields around the country. These GMO companies are no less than high-powered planetary horror shows, reaping destruction on human and environmental health. Yes, it really is that bad, and in ways I haven't even touched on here. So, what to do? Educate yourself. Let it be an ongoing process. Watch these films. Seeds of Deception, Genetic Roulette, Food Inc., The Future of... To name just a few. Join the Organic Consumers Association. Stay involved with the March Against Monsanto. And as you do your research, beware of propaganda and disinformation. The biotech companies know that the American people have awakened and are hip to their dirty, profit-driven, and lethal operations. Thus, these companies are actively cultivating high-level allies and shills to convince us of the safety and necessity of GMOs. Think Bill Gates, Bono of U2, to name just a few. There's a pro-GMO coloring book being distributed in schools, along with an army of well-funded publicists, PR agencies around the world being deployed to convince us that GMOs are safe and that we should go back to sleep. Stay awake. Don't buy it, don't eat it, don't feed it to your children. It's high time for all of us to embrace activism as a way of life. If not us, who? If not now, when? The call for GMO labeling is a start, but there's no place in our country or on our planet for openly grown GMO crops that threaten our very ecological stability. We are not corporate guinea pigs. Monsanto and other corporate biotech companies must go. Let's call on Orange and Seminole and Volusia counties to ban the cultivation of GMO crops in open fields. Like several counties in California have already done. Why is this so important? Because these crops pollinate non-GMO crops, and they lead to massive on the field. That's right. They lead to massive application of pesticides and herbicides, poisoning our air, water, and soil. Call your city and county commissioners and let them know you want GMO cultivation banned. What else? Shop local and organic whenever you can. Join a local food co-op. Join a CSA and buy direct from farmers. Ask us about how we grow, what kind of seeds we use, how we fertilize, and how we control bugs. Give us a hug. Unless a store-bought food is labeled as non-GMO or organic, it's probably GMO. Don't buy it. Read labels all the time. Teach your children to do this too, and teach them that there are certain things we just don't eat, like high fructose corn syrup, otherwise known as genetically modified corn crap, otherwise known as diabetes, otherwise known as poison. Ask your favorite restaurants if they serve GMOs. Don't be surprised if they don't know what you're talking about. Educate them and encourage them to tell their distributors they want to get away from GMO products. Talk, talk, talk to everyone you know about this issue and the changes you and your family are making. Make it a game. 10 points for avoiding GMO today. 10 points for educating someone new. Perhaps the most radical act of all, grow your own food. Save your seeds. Get your neighbors to do this too. Don't think you can? Of course you can. Like everything else, you can find it on YouTube or get out and volunteer on a local farm. Changing this current state of affairs will not be easy, and in fact points a bold finger at every aspect of our current system of what can only be called genetically modified capitalism, being engineered to strangle the people for a profit. If we don't change the game by changing the way we eat, changing the way we live, changing the way we spend our money, and relocalizing our food supply, if we throw up our hands and say it's just too much, we may not see our grandchildren grow. But if we stick together, work together, stay awake, vote with our dollars, and educate others, we can make it happen. They say mountains move when sleeping women wake. Well, Monsanto and friends, we're awake, we're coming for you, and we will move mountains.
All right, keep it going for Maya, please.